Yo, what's up guys? We have the in-game swap kind of thing. There are a few things that are good about it, a few things that are bad about it. I just played a little bit around with it, not that much. We do have the rune score right now on a specific rune. We don't have it on the unit. Why is that not on the unit? It would be nice to see like a rune score on a unit as well. You can also select by rune score at the moment. So you can select, okay, what's my highest rune score on any rune, and then most of the time you do get to your like best efficient rune. Like this is my highest, I think. You maybe will notice that your slot 5 and slot 4 are potentially higher than the other slots. And the main reason for that is that it has extra grindables. Whereas in the, well, this one as well, because you can get accuracy in. But in the 1, the 2, and the 3, most of the time you have one thing that doesn't have a grind in there. As you can see, every time there's one thing not grinded in there. And that lowers it out, whereas these will pick up like everything grindable and therefore a higher number. So that is the thing for that. What are the pros and the cons for this thing, for the rune optimization thing that we have right now with the advanced setting? One thing is, it is crazy fast. It is actually like legitimately super freaking crazy fast. So that is really a good thing. There's also a few things that are less good about it. So let's say we make a Douglas and we want to make a, in this case, we go for a Vamp Douglas on a whatever build. And we would like to go for an attack and a crit damage and attack. And we want to have at least a 100 crit rate. That's going to be the main important. We want to have at least, let's say, a 160-ish speed. Well, speed, we don't actually care that much, but we don't want to go full no. With this, the more thresholds you put, the worse it might actually get for the end result. And why is that? Well, let's say that you have a very good build that is a 139 rather than a 140. Like, sure, 100 crit rate is a must. But getting a specific speed in is only a must if you're doing, like, follow-ups of your AoE CC units moving right after your strips. But if you always hardlock this in saying, like, oh, my ragdoll needs 180 speed. Like, but what if you had an insane build at 170 speed? Or whatever you're putting on that. So especially with numbers like HP and attack and those kind of things, with speed, maybe you still want to lock in a threshold. But with the other numbers like HP, attack, and defense, often you probably don't really want to put an exact threshold on that. A thing that makes it very chill to rune is actually a threshold for putting 15 crit rate. Let's say you're making the dot team and you have to make your whole dot team at, let's say, 270 speed. And then just 15 crit rate and then work from there, which I will show in a second as well. Then it's very easy. Issue, however, number one that I have with this, which SWOP does very well and this thing doesn't do that well, I can only select use all of my equipped runes or use none of them. There is no option to kind of say like, okay, I have 1 or 2 units that I want to exclude or a few runes that I want to exclude. So this actually does mean that if you want to start from scratch, you have to do this in RTA and first unequip all of your runes. And then you start runing up one by one. But to go through all of your units and unequip all of your runes is definitely a tedious process that might be pretty annoying. But now I could say like, okay, I use all runes from everything. It's taking a bit of time, especially if I select all runes, then it's maybe not liking this as much, even though it's just searching for vampire. Well, it's searching for vampire and then everything else. Okay, then it does actually say like, okay, it's taking too long and therefore it's not gonna load everything. The more thresholds you put, the more things you lock in, the less results it's gonna have, and therefore the more it can actually do. But it is good that there's a limitation on like how long it can take. So now we can select things by rune score, which is nice and all, but rune score doesn't really mean anything. Like, what is a rune score? Like, I'm getting high resistance or high HP and defense. I'm getting lower attack than the build is already at. So that's not really that great. You could put it the other way around where saying like, okay, I want the highest crit damage is an option. Then it does show you also the number of the crit damage rather than the number of the rune score, which is not that bad. But there's also an issue with that. How not necessarily the highest attack is going to be the highest damage output. And the highest crit damage is also not going to be the highest damage output. And the highest speed, for example, is also not going to be the best set. So you kind of want to get a combination of those things rather than just saying like, okay, I want to go for the highest speed. So those are a little bit limitations on it. I think for some units it's easier and makes more sense than for others. Let's say, like I mentioned, we want to do the dot team. Dot team is very simple on saying like, okay, we want to get a despair plus a will set in. We want to go for a speed. Can you select multiple? You cannot select multiple. That kind of sucks because in this case, I would say, okay, HP or defense, I don't care. So you can put it on public, and then you can also put this one on public, because in this case, I don't care if it's resistance or anything. And then you work with a lot of thresholds. So let's say we allow every rune to be used. We want to get the speed to a minimum of 270. We want the resistance to be, let's just like put this to a hard test. This, where is the accuracy at? Oh, it's a little bit below that. Let's say I do about some accuracy from artifacts, and I just need about 65-ish. This, and then I want also the max crit rate to be 15. So let's see if we want to give that some builds. What is it going to come up with? It's going to be searching a long time, because now I'm saying, okay, the slot 4 and the slot 5 have to check everything, and therefore it's probably taking too long. Whereas I would have rather locked it in and saying like, okay, I'm pretty sure I could make that build. I'm fairly certain I can actually make a build like that. But I'd rather say like, okay, I want it to be either resistance, HP, or accuracy in here. This one I want to be HP or defense, and then work from there. So that is kind of the things that's maybe the 100 resistance. No, I should easily be, maybe because of the accuracy. Let's lower the accuracy, because I'm pretty sure I can make builds like these. Well, then again, well, let's just, I'm pretty sure I can make builds like these, because I do this for this, the dot team that I used to run all the time. So we'll be highly surprised if it says like you cannot. That is crit as max is 15. Yeah, that is supposed to be. No, it's not the plus speed, it's the total speed. It is the plus speed, because it starts from like a 105, so that is the base. Yeah, this is also not taking the results that I'm pretty sure in SWOP I could get these results. Let me actually check if I can get these results in SWOP, because maybe I'm lying, but maybe I'm not. So we're trying to do the exact same thing. So in this case, you would say despair, we want will. In here, I can say, okay, go for def or HP or accuracy, I don't give a shit. Go for HP or def, I don't give a shit. You want to use all runes. This case, we want to focus on searching for speed, HP, resistance, accuracy. That's cool. We want to go 50 in here, 100 in here, 270 in here, and we're maxing 15 on those. I've been doing this, and here are the builds. So, tada, I have no clue why. No, this thing from, like, I found 199 builds with that. So, and I want specifically to be 15 crit rate as a max. So, yeah, in the end, it does have some things for it where it's not too bad. But is it really crazy good? No, because it can't find builds that it just found within a few seconds on SWOP. So it is lacking a little bit for that. I would say for maybe some more casual players / beginner players that you would be like, okay, it's just chill to work around with. Test with removing this. Probably if I remove that, then it would definitely work. But that is the main thing. I want to go for that 15 crit rate. But I think it's locking in. Maybe it's trying to check too many results, and therefore I have to lock in the 4 and the 5. So, yeah, okay, this gets too many results. Let's actually see, I'm using a res or HP 4 res 6 to get the results, because probably the moment you limit more results, it's going to be better. But like I said, I don't want that high crit rate. Also, right now, you might say, it's like, okay, I'll go for the highest HP because that would be the best build. But technically, not really. I want to go for the highest effective HP, which once again, on SWOP, I could say, let's remove this. On SWOP, I could say, this is my highest effective HP, and it would start using these runes because these are the most tanky runes from HP and defense together. It is also rocking way too much speed for how much I would like this, but just for the idea of it, I can also easily like down tune this to like 275. And then also from here right away see like, okay, which build is 170, which build is 171, etc. that way. Whereas if we use that over here, it's a little bit more difficult. But let's see if I hard lock in these, because now it's checking for everything. So it's maybe getting too many builds potentially in, and therefore it's not getting towards the result, because I think that's a pretty hard limitation of how much it can do. So with this build should definitely find something. Yep, now it found builds. So it only found 2, where the other one found a 199. So it is there, but it is like a hard limitation. If you have too many runes and you didn't put up enough thresholds, then it's just trying to search things that are never going to be there. Let's actually compare this set to the set over. I think it is a somewhat similar set if I'm looking at it. So we have those things. Which slot 6 is it using? It's using the exact same slot 6. Slot 1 is using a different one. Yeah, that's definitely a different one. Slot 2 is also different. Slot 3 is also very different. Slot 4 is using also a different one. And the slot 5, also a different one. So yeah, it's taking completely different runes. So it has a hard issue of trying to find like the right, or like all of the potential in there that you have. Also, the more runes that you hoard, the more struggles this system will have to get all of your correct builds in. But is this a nice stepping stone for maybe getting something more in the future? Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Especially if people want to say like, we do have these things for R5, where it's a very specific thing, like, okay, you want to go between this kind of HP and that kind of HP. There's not too many guides like that, but let me actually show you. So yeah, let's say you have a guide like this, which there's not too many of, but this is like the most in-depth guide there is for R5. If you then see this becomes pretty easy to do. And like all of those things, well, the thing is you can't say like, you cannot lock in the effective HP because that's something that we kind of just made up ourselves of like a combination of HP and defense. But with this, you can kind of lock in a lot of things to make your R5 team usable. Let's say that we go to the Bale. Bale. Where the hell are you at? So in that case, we would go for the advanced rune settings. We would, of course, have to go for Rage Will. We would probably go attack, crit damage, and attack. And then the targeted values would be crit rate at this. We can look up like, okay, what is the kind of speed that we need? Let's say we need the plus 49. So we're looking at speeds that are this to, okay, we have to hit the done until what is the max? That would be a 270. If we're going for that threshold. And then the thing is, we could already leave it at this, but we also need to get some effective HP. But let's see how much HP it is looking at. Does it actually anywhere say? Oh no, it just says like this is the effective HP formula. Nice. We don't know anything that way. So yeah, that's also the thing. You could get a lot of effective HP by getting a lot of HP or a lot of defense. So that's kind of the thing, is kind of in the middle, like which one is going to be best. But let's just, for the idea of it, we're going to put these numbers. And then we hit OK, and then we hit start. And let's actually use all runes. Let's see if that gets too many builds already. I kind of have a lot of runes. I have like 4.7k runes or something like that. So the fewer runes you have, the more this system will like you. So yeah, it also ended because it was getting too many builds. I got 13 builds that way. Yeah, that's not really that much at all. Also, I'm pretty sure that this, okay, I'm using also a build that, or maybe too much speed than I'm rather using normally. And it's asking for way too much HP. No, these builds are horrible, man. These builds are absolutely horrible. Like, no way I normally get... I'm not even sure. I think maybe this is lower normally. I think... Let's make this to 15k and... not you. Let's go on 800 and let's go you on 15. I think that is too low, but just for the idea of it. Let's see if I can actually get towards the build that I'm normally using. So let's go for speed. I think I normally use it at like a 135-ish speed. Like it's the different speed tick that I'm using it on. Let's see if we can actually get this. Yeah, you can say like do not include the engraved runes, but then you have to keep all of your runes that you potentially put on the unit. It would make it a lot faster for getting the builds. But in this case, if you use all of your runes, it's just getting too many results. Also, yeah. Highest crit damage I have, and you just start going for an absolute crap rune on the slot 4. Thank you. That's not useful. Okay, if we select this, I probably get better builds. Yeah, I get way more builds this way. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the moment that you use all of your runes that you also have equipped on units, It's just getting way too many bolts in, and therefore it's just going absolute potato on things you don't need. And this is a lot more of a sound build. The only issue is now it's not using all of the other runes that I'm already using. Plus you can see that like this amount of attack, like crit damage is decent-ish, but the amount of attack is not that high. And if we do the other way around, then you have to check like, okay, from all of these, which one does have the highest crit damage? Because for example, this 161 is going to do less damage than this 176. So you would have to go through like, okay, which one has the highest crit damage to get to a proper point. Plus we're overstacking on crit rate. I asked for just crit rate on 76, but it's giving me bolts of crit rate 100. So in the end, it is a niche nice tool, but I think it's still like in early steps where it might not be that great, where you would say like, oh, this is actually going to help you a lot. Maybe for early game runing, it might be pretty decent and fast to get your stuff in, but you kind of know your accounts. I think it is still faster to rerune by hand, or highly recommended to just use swap. That is the highly recommendation right there. Let's see what we're getting in drops on here. So far, one legend. Oh, Jesus. 31 speed. Not so 31 speed. But we're definitely getting better stuff over here. That is absolutely a true statement. Seems good. Seems good. So people that weren't farming Elunia before, would highly recommend start farming Elunia. If you farm Lumo, I can give okay for Lumen. I wouldn't recommend Calderon or Karizon or whatever the other things are. Okay, so they have the legendary crafts. Yeah, I did talk about this earlier also during the patch notes review. I don't really like to select these things. Still not. And what is the main reason for that? Is that this costs you technically selling 10 legendary runes to get 1 legendary rune back. This is 60 legendary runes. This is going to be, let's say we go for slot 4. This is 120. And then, yeah, we want to go flat HP. This is going to be 200 legendary runes sold to just simply get 1 craft in. And then it's still gonna get flat HP or some shit, right? Or, like, I don't know. It's still gonna roll horrible. So, yeah, would I really recommend people to do this? I don't know. Like, probably not. Because the thing is also, let's say you go for just simply 100. That means you get 20 legendary runes for the same price as getting 1 legendary rune for the other one. Which means you get technically 22. Because let's say you sell all of those, you still get back enough materials to get another 2 crafts in, right? So for that reason, unless that you're saying like, okay, I have everything really good except, let's say for me, I have pretty low results in slot 4 HP on Swift. So let's say slot 4 Swift HP. If we check that for mine, it's legit. If we select my sub-property, it's 26s. It's really low. So these are even like 21s plus 5. So for some reason, can't get those. Would you then say like, oh, start farming those? No, even not. Because the amount of crafts that I would need to get a triple roll on a speed, first of all, getting a speed in there and then getting that triple roll on that speed is that incredibly low that it's probably just simply not worth it. So if I were to do this, I don't think it is absolutely not worth it. So I'm not even going to do it for content. I think that this is just highly a scam price. I think it should be halved or even less. Because I think this is just simply way too much. But since they implemented this right now, I don't expect them to lower the price. So they're probably not going to do that. Let's see what they do. Also have this for, yeah, they also have this for crafting for your artifacts. For artifacts, I would say pretty much arguably same thing. Just craft the cheapest one. That's the main thing. Because what are the things? First you select type, then you select this, and then you select base. Okay, yeah, no, probably not. Probably just you want to get more legendaries. Because it just gives you more cash back, it gives you more chance of getting anything, rather than trying to really focus on that one thing. We can't craft hero runes. You can still craft hero runes. The hero rune crafting is over here right now. It's still the same thing, but you can't select like what kind of specific hero runes you want with this one. So, But I think in general, it is nice to craft artifacts. I don't have any blue artifacts, but I did read, I think, that even if you sell artifacts that are blue, it was blue plus to get the material. So let's see if I have any artifact that is kind of in the mids. If we go by artifact score and then we go this way, this is my worst artifact. I agree. That's a really bad artifact. Do we always get artifact material? Not on that one. Counterattack, that's still somewhat usable. That is usable. Let's select it on something else. CDO with super low stats next to it. Okay, we get like one material. Okay, fair. And then I think if you sell a legendary, this one is kind of bad as a legendary, then I think it's a guaranteed 10. Yep, then it's a guaranteed 10. So that's the same way as that it works for runes. Okay, not too bad. New mock battles. Oh, true. Wait, can you redo the mock battles then? Ah, yeah, you can actually redo the mock battles. So if you did do your mock battles before, you can redo the mock battles. And I think it was made easier right now. You have like, for some of them, you can select in your own unit. And you just have to do certain thresholds. So it doesn't matter how fast you clear it. So I just have to do, okay, increase attack to all allies, increase death to, or decrease death to, okay, so I just have to death break and attack buff. That's all. I'm not even sure if you have to win. Let's see if that is the case. So we have death break, already done. Attack buff on self, already done. And now we just fucking leave. Okay, that doesn't count. You still have to actually get the objectives and win. It would be kind of cheating if you just could say like, okay, I did the thing, I'm done. Like, I'm always trying to cheat the system, right? Like, you know me. 1k free. Oh yeah, you do get 1k free crystals from this. And it's pretty easy to do. Yeah, I haven't seen a single resistance check. Like, sure, I have seen no activation checks, but I haven't seen a single resistance check. So maybe, can we just get this in PvE already? Like in the first place? Like, please. Would be nice. Getting recon those kind of dots all the time? Yeah, this has to be. There's absolutely no way you're landing like this. There's absolutely no way. Okay, they give false advertisement on that because there's absolutely no way your recon's gonna land like that, bro. Absolutely no way. You're going to be looking like, you're like, oh, this unit is really OP, and then you start using it elsewhere, and it's like, resistance! Like, yay! Provoke the enemies, clear with all surviving. Gucci stuff. Okay, so apparently there's no resistance checks in this feature. That is actually interesting, because that's the first thing in the game. No, you don't select, you just get either type or attribute artifacts. Oh, that's kind of terrible. If you compare that to a rune pack, it's just... Well, it is cheaper though, but... No, you just get 3. You get 18 in here. For 3 times the price. No, I think that these are really bad. You can get these 3 per week? Is that new? I thought it was 3 per month. This is a lot of rune packs you can buy. Month worth of rune packs just in this one alone? You can get like $1,000 in rune packs. Jeez. They changed that for Kaylee Bao. Yeah, that's how Kaylee Bao caught up in like a year. Okay, you can select it on the one. Yeah, okay. So you're not saying fully like which one it is, but it is still selective at random. Yeah, for buying the extra space, I wouldn't really recommend people to do it until they're actually maxing out. Would I really recommend to upgrade this? Because it's somewhat expensive. And I think 1.5... Maybe, like, the only thing that I would say about all of these that you could maybe put higher on is runes. But then again, it's a lot cheaper to just equip runes to units in your storage. I do actually like this as well, giving more options in here. Because I kind of wanted the 6th one. Wait, can you check their whole sets or something like that? How does it work? Don't worry, so I won't go into any important units. History room, whatever, for content. Nice. Okay, so let's say your talisman. Can I now change the runes? Okay, I can. So wait, then I can legit go into like what's your fastest set. Okay, that's a little bit too much though. Update YouTube re-runing service. Ah, hell no, I'd rather log into an account and do it from there. But yeah, from here you can legit see someone's like full fast set. I'm not gonna go through it right now because I don't want to expose those things, but why are you not using your fastest Vio rune? Oh wait, this was a new rune, right? Congrats on that new rune. Okay, so I could suggest, let's say that I just do whatever. We're just gonna get the highest crit damage on Vio, just for the sake of it. If I hit apply right now, okay, let's actually take runes that don't steal from anything, just in case things get messed up. Okay. And then it would be sending this recommendation over to him. Okay. So it's just a recommendation. It's not actually reruning for you, but I think if I click this right now... That's GP12, please. Then you can apply that. Okay, well, it is okay-ish. I think it's still like pretty much like if I would do reruning service, I would still log into an account and just do it from there because then I can do it with SWOP. But it is a something. It is a something. It is okay. Is it really that useful? I'm not too sure about it, but it is okay. It is okay, I guess. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.